What would you do if a dying mother pushed her babies toward you, a complete stranger, and begged you with her eyes to save them? That's not a hypothetical question. It happened to Axel on a freezing February morning in Montana. A German shepherd mother, bleeding and broken on the side of a mountain road, used her last strength to do something that would change 5 lives forever. She trusted a stranger with everything she had left to give, her children. This is that story. And if you've ever wondered what pure unconditional love looks like, you're about to see it. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your location in the comments. And if stories about motherhood, trust, and second chances move you, hit that like button. You're going to need it for this one. Now let's begin. It was 6:47 a.m. when Axel heard the sound. A sharp, desperate bark. Then another. Then silence. He was outside chopping wood. The sun wasn't fully up yet. The world was still that blue-gray color that comes right before dawn. Ash and Frost both stopped what they were doing, sniffing around the yard, and turned toward the sound, alert, concerned. "You hear that too?" Axel asked them. Another bark, weaker this time, coming from the direction of the main road, about a quarter mile from his cabin through the woods. Axel set down the axe. Something was wrong. "Come on, boys." They moved quickly through the trees, Ash and Frost leading the way, noses working. The temperature was brutal, -15, snow crunching under Axel's boots, his breath clouding in front of him. As they got closer to the road, Ash suddenly stopped, whined. Frost did the same. "What is it?" Then Axel saw. On the shoulder of the road, partially hidden by a snowdrift, was a German shepherd. Female. Young, maybe 3 years old, beautiful tan and black coloring, and covered in blood. Jesus! Axel ran forward, dropping to his knees beside her. She'd been hit. Vehicle strike. Her right rear leg was shattered, bone visible through torn flesh, deep lacerations across her side, blood in the snow around her, but she was alive. Barely. Her eyes opened when Axel approached, dark, pain-filled, terrified. She tried to lift her head, tried to growl, protecting something. That's when Axel saw them, tucked against her body, pressed into her belly fur for warmth. 3 tiny German shepherd puppies, maybe 4 weeks old, eyes barely open, still nursing age. Oh God. The mother had been hit, probably last night based on the blood, and had dragged herself off the road to this spot, to die hidden, to protect her babies as long as she could. Axel reached for his phone, called Dr. Reeves. "Helena, it's Axel. I need you, now." "What's wrong?" "German shepherd, vehicle strike. Bad. She's got puppies with her. If I don't get her to you in the next hour, she's dead." "Bring her. I'll prep the surgery." Axel hung up, looked at the mother dog. She was watching him, calculating. Stranger, threat, danger. Her maternal instinct was screaming at her to protect the puppies, to fight him off. But she was dying, and she knew it. Axel could see the moment it registered in her eyes. "I can't save them." But maybe he can. "It's okay, girl," Axel said softly. "I'm here to help. I promise." The mother dog stared at him. Then, in a movement that would haunt Axel for the rest of his life, she pushed, used her front legs, the only limbs still working, to push her 3 puppies away from her body, toward Axel. One by one, she nudged them forward in the snow, away from her warmth, away from safety, toward a stranger. The puppies whimpered, confused, cold, trying to crawl back to their mother. But she kept pushing them away, toward Axel. She looked at him, and in her eyes, Axel saw something he'd never forget. Trust. Take them. Please. Save them. "I've got them," Axel whispered, his voice breaking. "I've got all of you." He pulled off his heavy jacket, wrapped the 3 puppies inside. They were so small, so helpless. Then he carefully, gently lifted the mother dog. She whimpered. The pain must have been excruciating, but she didn't bite, didn't fight. She let him carry her, because she'd made her choice, to trust. The drive to Dr. Reeves's clinic normally took 30 minutes. Axel made it in 18. The mother dog lay in the back seat, wrapped in blankets, breathing shallow, fading fast. The 3 puppies were in a box on the front seat, wrapped in Axel's jacket, crying, searching for their mother. Ash and Frost sat in the back with the mother, calm and steady, as if they understood their job was to keep her company, to tell her she wasn't alone. Axel kept talking to her. Stay with me, you hear me? You stay with me. You did your job. You got them to safety. Now let me do mine. Her eyes would open occasionally, find him in the rearview mirror, then close again. Just hold on, hold on. Dr. Reeves was waiting outside when Axel pulled up. Bring her. They rushed the mother dog inside, straight to surgery. Reeves took one look and her face went grave. Axel, this is bad, really bad. Can you save her? I don't know. She's lost a lot of blood. That leg is destroyed. She's in shock. She might not survive surgery. Try, please. Dr. Reeves looked at the mother dog, then at the 3 tiny puppies in Axel's arms. She fought to keep them alive this long. Yeah, I'll fight for her too. She turned to her assistant. Prep for emergency surgery. Full trauma protocol. They took the mother dog back. Axel stood in the waiting room, holding 3 crying puppies, Ash and Frost pressed against his legs, all of them waiting, praying. 2 hours later, Dr. Reeves emerged. Her scrubs were covered in blood. She looked exhausted. She's alive. Axel's legs almost gave out. She made it? Barely. We had to amputate the rear leg, too much damage to save it. She coded twice on the table, but she's stable now, heavily sedated. Next 24 hours are critical. Can I see her? Not yet, she needs rest. But Axel... Dr. Reeves hesitated. Even if she survives, she's going to have a long, difficult recovery. 3 legs, trauma, and she just had puppies. The nursing alone is going to strain her body. What are you saying? I'm saying you might need to prepare for the possibility that she won't make it, or that even if she does, she might not be able to care for the puppies. Axel looked down at the 3 tiny bundles in his arms. Then I'll care for them. Axel, newborn puppies are... I know, I've done it before. He gestured to Ash and Frost. Remember? Dr. Reeves smiled slightly. Yeah, I remember. She looked at the puppies. They're going to need feeding every 2 hours, round the clock, puppy formula, warmth, constant supervision. I can do that. And if the mother doesn't make it, she'll make it. She didn't fight this hard to die now. Dr. Reeves studied him. You really believe that? Axel thought about the look in the mother dog's eyes, the way she'd pushed her babies toward him, the trust. She chose to believe I'd save them. I'm not letting her down. The first night was hell. Axel set up a warming station in his living room, heat lamps, soft blankets, a box lined with towels. The 3 puppies, 2 males, 1 female, cried almost constantly. They were looking for their mother, her warmth, her milk, her heartbeat. All they had was Axel. He mixed puppy formula according to Dr. Reeves's instructions. Warmed it to body temperature. Feeding newborn puppies was delicate work. Too fast and they'd choke, too slow and they'd get frustrated. He fed them one at a time. Patient, gentle. The first male, the biggest, latched onto the bottle immediately. Hungry. Strong. Okay, you're Bear, Axel decided, because you eat like one. The female was smaller, more cautious. Took time to figure out the bottle, but once she did, she drank steadily. And you're Luna, because you're going to be a fighter. The second male was the runt, smallest of the 3, weakest. He didn't want the bottle at first, just cried. Axel spent 20 minutes coaxing him, talking softly, being patient. Finally, the little guy latched on, drank a tiny amount. Come on, buddy, you've got to eat. Your mom fought so hard for you. The puppy's eyes, barely open, seemed to look at him. Your courage, Axel said, because that's what you're going to need. After feeding, he had to stimulate them to go to the bathroom. Mother dogs did this by licking. Axel had to use warm, wet cloths. It was exhausting, intimate, messy, but necessary. Ash and Frost watched the whole process, curious but calm. When Axel finally got all 3 puppies settled and sleeping, it was 2 a.m. He had to feed them again at 4 a.m. He set an alarm, collapsed on the couch. Ash curled up beside the puppy box, on guard. Frost lay at Axel's feet, both dogs understanding their role, protect the pack's newest members. At 4 a.m., the alarm went off. Axel dragged himself up, fed the puppies again. Bear ate eagerly. Luna took her time but ate well. Courage struggled again, only took half his bottle. Come on, little man, you've got to try harder. But the tiny puppy just didn't have the strength. By 6 a.m. feeding, Courage was weaker. By 8 a.m. he wouldn't take the bottle at all. Axel called Dr. Reeves. He's not eating. He's cold even under the heat lamp. He's fading. Bring him in, now. Axel drove to the clinic with Courage wrapped in towels against his chest, sharing body heat. Stay with me, buddy. Your mom didn't give up. You don't get to either. Dr. Reeves examined him, started IV fluids, gave him nutrients. He's severely hypoglycemic, dehydrated. He's the runt. Probably wasn't getting enough milk even before the accident. He's at high risk. What do I do? You keep fighting, tube feeding if he won't take the bottle, every 2 hours, no exceptions, and you pray. Axel took Courage back home. For the next 48 hours, he barely slept, every 2 hours, tube feeding, keeping him warm, stimulating him, monitoring breathing. Courage clung to life by the thinnest thread, but he clung. On the third day, something changed. Axel offered the bottle, expecting to have to tube feed again, but Courage latched on and drank. Not much, but enough. That's it. That's my boy. Slowly, so slowly, Courage got stronger, started drinking more, started moving more, started fighting. By day 5, he was keeping up with his siblings, still the smallest, but no longer fading, surviving. On day 6, Dr. Reeves called. She's awake. Axel's heart jumped. The mother? She's conscious? Yeah, weak, confused, in pain, but conscious. And Axel, she's looking for something. The puppies. Yeah, she keeps trying to get up. She's distressed. I think she needs to see them, to know they're okay. I'll bring them. 20 minutes later, Axel walked into the clinic carrying 3 puppies in a box. Dr. Reeves led him to the recovery room. The mother dog lay on a padded table, bandaged, IV lines running from her leg. Her right rear leg, gone. Just bandaged stump remaining. But she was alive. And when Axel walked in carrying the box, her head lifted, her nose went to work, and a sound came from her throat. A whine, desperate, yearning. My babies. Easy, girl, Dr. Reeves said. They're okay. Look. Axel brought the box close. Bear, Luna, and Courage, clean, warm, healthy, squirmed inside. The mother dog's eyes locked onto them, and she cried. Not a howl. A cry. Relief, joy, grief. They made it. He saved them. They made it. Axel carefully lifted them out one by one, placed them beside her on the padded table. The puppies immediately crawled toward her, found her warmth, her scent, home. The mother dog sniffed each one, licked their faces, checked them over, making sure they were real, safe. Then she looked at Axel, and that look said everything. Thank you. You kept your promise. Axel's throat tightened. You did good, Mama. You got them to me, and I got them here. We're a team. He gently stroked her head. You've got a long recovery ahead, but you're not doing it alone. I'm here. Your babies are here, and we're not going anywhere. The mother dog closed her eyes, and for the first time in a week, she rested. Really rested, because her babies were safe, and she could finally let go of the fear. The mother dog's recovery was brutal, learning to walk on 3 legs, managing pain, healing from massive trauma. But the hardest part? Being separated from her puppies. Dr. Reeves had to keep her at the clinic for 2 weeks. She needed round-the-clock medical care, IV antibiotics, pain management, physical therapy. The puppies needed constant feeding and warmth that the clinic couldn't provide. So they stayed with Axel. Every day, Axel brought them to visit. The mother's reaction was always the same. The moment she heard them, even from another room, her whole body would tense. Alert, ears forward. My babies. And when Axel carried them in, she'd whine, cry, try to stand despite the pain, needing to touch them, to smell them, to know they were real and safe. Easy, Mama, Axel would say. They're okay, look. He'd place them beside her, let her check each one over with her nose, lick their faces. Bear would climb on her immediately, bold and confident. Luna would snuggle against her side, content and gentle. Courage would curl up under her chin, still the smallest, still needing extra reassurance. And for those 30 minutes, the mother dog would relax, because her children were with her. But then Axel had to take them back, and every single time it broke her. She'd try to follow, try to stand on 3 legs that weren't ready, whining, begging, don't take them, please. I know, Axel would whisper, his own chest tight. I know, Mama, but they need care you can't give yet. Soon, I promise, soon you'll all be together. She didn't understand promises. She only understood that her babies were leaving. Again. By week 3, the mother dog was stable enough to come home. Dr. Reeves had concerns. She's still healing. The amputation site isn't fully closed. She's going to need help with basic movement. And Axel, 3-legged dogs adapt, but it takes time. She's going to be frustrated, possibly aggressive from pain. I can handle it. And the puppies? They're 5 weeks old now, mobile, demanding. Can she even nurse them in her condition? We'll figure it out. Dr. Reeves looked at him. You've already named her, haven't you? Axel smiled slightly. Hope. Hope? Because that's what she chose. When she was dying on that road, she chose to hope that I'd save them. So yeah, hope. Dr. Reeves shook her head, smiling. You're something else, Martinez. I learned from the best. Bringing Hope home was chaotic. Axel had prepared the cabin, set up a large enclosed area in the living room, soft bedding, water, food. But the moment Hope limped through the door and saw the puppies, everything else disappeared. She half ran, half hobbled across the room, nearly fell twice, didn't care, reached the puppy pen. Bear, Luna, and Courage, who'd been playing with a toy, all froze, looked up, saw their mother, and went crazy. All 3 launched themselves at the pen barrier, squealing, crying, desperate to reach her. Hope pushed her nose through the barrier, whining, licking whatever she could reach. Axel opened the gate. The puppies exploded out, climbed all over their mother, licking her face, crying, burrowing into her fur. You're back. You're real. You're here. Hope lay down, carefully, protecting her healing leg, and the puppies swarmed her. All 3 trying to nurse at once, pawing at her, talking in puppy language. And Hope, despite the pain, despite the exhaustion, looked more peaceful than Axel had ever seen her. This is what I fought for. Ash and Frost watched from a respectful distance, understanding. This was a mother and her children, sacred space. Axel stood back too, watching, and realized something. He'd saved Hope's life. But she'd done something bigger. She'd trusted him with the most precious thing she had, and that trust had changed him, made him responsible not just for dogs he'd rescued, but for the family he'd helped keep together. The first week with Hope home was hard. She struggled with basic movement. The missing leg threw off her balance. She'd try to walk and stumble, try to turn and fall. Each failure frustrated her. One afternoon, Axel found her trying to get outside. She'd made it to the door but couldn't figure out how to navigate the steps with 3 legs. She kept trying, failing, trying again, getting more agitated. Hey, it's okay, Axel said gently. Hope growled, not at him, at herself. I used to be able to do this. I know, but you've got to give yourself time. He sat on the steps, at her level. You lost a leg, that's huge. Your whole world changed, but you're still here. You're still you. Hope looked at him with those dark, intelligent eyes. And those 3 puppies in there, they don't care how many legs you have. They just care that you're their mom. Hope's ears relaxed slightly. So let's figure this out. Together. For the next hour, Axel worked with her, teaching her how to balance on 3 legs, how to shift her weight, how to navigate stairs. It was slow, painful, frustrating. But Hope kept trying, because her puppies needed her to be strong. And she wouldn't let them down. The puppies, meanwhile, were growing fast. At 6 weeks, they were little hellions. Bear was the troublemaker, into everything, chewing anything he could reach, challenging Ash and Frost to play fights. Luna was the explorer, constantly investigating, finding ways to escape the puppy pen, testing boundaries. Courage, still the smallest, was the thinker. He'd watch his siblings make mistakes, then find smarter ways to do things. Hope tried to keep up with them. But 3 legs made it hard. When Bear would wander too far, Hope would try to chase him, would stumble, couldn't catch him. When Luna would climb something dangerous, Hope would try to intervene, couldn't move fast enough. When Courage would get stuck, Hope would try to help, couldn't reach him. Axel saw the frustration building. One evening, he found Hope lying in the corner, puppies playing nearby. She wasn't watching them. She was staring at the wall, defeated. Axel sat beside her. What's wrong, Mama? Hope didn't look at him. You're thinking you're not enough, that you can't protect them, that they need a mother with 4 legs. Hope's ears flattened. But here's what you're missing. Axel gestured to the puppies. Bear's fearless because you taught him bravery. Luna's independent because you showed her strength. Courage fights because he watched you never give up. Hope's head turned slightly, listening. They don't need perfect. They need you, exactly as you are. He stroked her head gently. And when you can't do something, that's what I'm here for. That's what Ash and Frost are here for. We're a pack now. As if on cue, Bear got himself stuck behind the couch, started crying. Hope tried to stand, started to struggle. Axel stood up. I got him. He pulled the couch out. Bear scrambled free, ran to his mother. Hope sniffed him over, satisfied, safe, then Leitwa, then looked at Axel. Thank you. Anytime, Mama. That's what family does. By week 4, something remarkable happened. Hope had learned to move on 3 legs with shocking efficiency. She'd figured out how to balance, how to run, not fast but enough, how to play with the puppies despite the disability, but more than that, she'd learned to ask for help. When Bear climbed too high, she'd bark at Axel. Come help. When Luna wandered toward danger, she'd position herself and look at Frost, block her. When Courage got tired, she'd nudge him toward Ash, carry him. She'd stop trying to do everything alone. She'd accepted the pack. One afternoon, Dr. Reeves came to check on them. She watched Hope playing with the puppies, moving well, happy. I didn't think she'd adapt this fast. She's motivated, Axel said. Dr. Reeves knelt down, let the puppies swarm her, laughing. They're thriving, all 3 of them. Even Courage, look at him, he's caught up to his siblings. Courage was indeed bigger, stronger, still cautious but confident. That's because of you, Dr. Reeves said, those first weeks. You hand-fed him, fought for him. Hope fought for him first. True, but you finished the job. She stood up, looked at the whole scene. Hope with her puppies, Ash and Frost supervising, Axel watching over all of them. You know what you've built here? This isn't just rescue, it's family. Axel smiled. Yeah, I know. At 8 weeks, the puppies were ready for their first real adventure. Axel took the whole pack outside. Hope, Ash, Frost, Bear, Luna, and Courage. 6 dogs, 1 human, Montana wilderness. The puppies went nuts. Snow, trees, space. Bear immediately ran off to investigate everything. Luna started climbing a snowbank. Courage stayed close to Hope, unsure. Hope walked beside Axel, still limping slightly, but moving, watching her babies discover the world. And Axel saw it in her eyes. Pride. Look what I made. Look what we saved. Bear got too far ahead, started to head toward the road. Hope barked, sharp, commanding. Stop. Bear froze, looked back. Hope limped forward, nudged him with her nose, redirected him. Not that way. Dangerous. Bear listened, followed her back. Axel watched the interaction. You're going to be a good mom, even with 3 legs. Hope looked at him. And for the first time since the accident, her tail wagged. Not a nervous wag, not a cautious wag, a happy wag. She'd made it. They'd made it. That night, after the puppies were exhausted and sleeping in a pile, Axel sat with Hope on the porch, Ash and Frost at his feet, Hope beside him, looking out at the stars. You trusted me, Axel said quietly, when you were dying. You trusted a complete stranger with your children. Hope's ears turned toward his voice. I don't know why, but I'm grateful you did. He thought about that moment on the road, the way she'd pushed the puppies toward him, the impossible trust. You taught me something, about faith, about believing someone will catch you when you fall. He looked at Ash and Frost. They taught me I could be saved. You taught me I could be trusted. Hope rested her head on his leg, and Axel understood. They'd saved each other. She'd trusted him to save her children. He'd proven worthy of that trust. And in doing so, he'd found something he didn't know he was missing. Purpose that went beyond himself. Responsibility for lives that depended on him. The weight and gift of being trusted. The next morning, Dr. Reeves called. I've been thinking. Those puppies are going to need homes soon. Axel's chest tightened. What? They're almost 10 weeks old. Prime adoption age. I can help you find families. Good families. Axel looked at Bear wrestling with Frost, Luna cuddled with Ash, Courage sleeping against Hope. I haven't thought about that. You need to. 3 puppies is a lot, Axel. On top of Ash, Frost, and Hope, that's 6 dogs. I know. I'm not saying you can't keep them. I'm saying think about what's best for them, and for you. After she hung up, Axel sat with the thought. He'd saved them, raised them, fought for them. But were they his to keep? Or had he just been the bridge between their mother's trust and their future homes? He didn't know the answer. But looking at Hope, who'd trusted him with everything, he knew he had to figure it out, because some decisions carry weight beyond yourself, and this one mattered. The adoption question haunted Axel for weeks. 6 dogs was a lot, even for someone with his setup. Food costs, vet bills, time, space, training. Logically, it made sense to find homes for the puppies. But every time he looked at Hope, every time he remembered her pushing those babies toward him, trusting him with everything, the idea of separating them felt like betrayal. One afternoon, Sarah Brennan called. She'd stayed in touch since Marcus's death, checking on Rex, supporting the Brennan Legacy Fund. How are things? She asked. Axel told her about Hope, the accident, the puppies, the decision he was facing. Sarah was quiet for a moment. Can I tell you something my dad said right before he died? Yeah. He said, the hardest part of love isn't holding on. It's knowing when to let go so they can grow. Axel's throat tightened. He was talking about Danny, about how he'd held on to grief so long that he couldn't see the world moving forward. Until you brought Rex back. Until he could say goodbye. She paused. Maybe keeping all the puppies isn't about what Hope needs. Maybe it's about what they need. What if she doesn't understand? What if she thinks I'm taking them away? Then you show her. The same way you showed her you'd save them. Through action. Through trust. After they hung up, Axel sat with the thought. Sarah was right. This wasn't about him, or even about Hope. It was about Bear, Luna, and Courage. 3 puppies who deserved the best possible lives, and maybe that meant finding them homes where they could be the center of attention, where they could have their own purposes, where they could grow into who they were meant to be. Axel made a decision. He'd find homes for the puppies, but not just any homes, the right homes. He called Dr. Reeves. I need your help. With what? Finding families, but not regular families, veterans, people who need what these dogs can give. Dr. Reeves was quiet. You want to place them as support animals? Not officially, not yet. They're too young, but yeah. People who'd understand where they came from, what they represent. That's actually brilliant. Can you help? Already on it. The first potential family came 2 days later. James and Carol Peterson, both Army veterans, mid-40s, living on a ranch 40 miles north. They'd lost their German Shepherd 6 months ago to cancer, hadn't been ready for another dog, until Dr. Reeves told them about Hope's story. We're not looking to replace Max, James said, standing in Axel's living room. But when Helena told us about that mother dog trusting you, about the puppies, Carol finished. We just wanted to meet them. Axel brought out Bear first. The biggest puppy bounded over immediately. Confident, curious, climbed right into James's lap, started chewing his shoelaces. James laughed. Well, he's bold. That's Bear. He's fearless. Doesn't know the meaning of quit. Carol knelt down. Bear immediately shifted attention to her, licking her face, wagging his entire body. He's also loyal, Axel added. He protects his siblings, and he listens to his mother. He's got good instincts. James and Carol looked at each other. Something passed between them. Can we take him outside? See how he does? Yeah, of course. They spent an hour with Bear, playing, walking, testing recall. Bear was perfect, attentive, playful, already showing signs of the dog he'd become. When they came back inside, Carol was crying. He reminds me of Max, the same energy, the same heart. James squeezed her hand. What do you think? I think he's supposed to be ours. Axel felt his chest tighten, relief and sadness mixed together. He's yours, but... He looked at them seriously. You need to know what this means. His mother fought through impossible odds to save him. You're taking on that legacy. We understand, James said. We'll honor it. And you bring him back to visit. Hope needs to see he's okay. We will, I promise. Bear left 2 days later. The Petersons came to pick him up, brought supplies, a new collar, toys. Bear was excited. New people, new adventure. But when they started loading him into their truck, he looked back. At Hope, at his siblings, confused. Wait, where are we going? Hope stood at the cabin door, watching, her body tense, uncertain. Axel knelt beside her. It's okay, Mama. He's going to a good home, good people. He'll be happy. Hope whined, took a step forward. My baby. I know, but this is what's best for him. The truck pulled away, Bear's face in the back window, still looking back, and Hope. She howled, a mother's cry, loss, confusion. Why are you taking my baby? Luna and Courage came to the door, sensing something wrong. Ash and Frost pressed against Hope, supporting, and Axel felt like he'd just made the worst decision of his life. Hope didn't eat for 2 days. She'd lie by the door, waiting, watching for Bear to come back. When Luna and Courage would try to play, she'd barely respond, just lay there, grieving. Axel tried everything, comfort, food, walks. Nothing worked. On the 3rd day, he sat beside her. I know you don't understand. I know it feels like I betrayed you. Hope's ears flicked, but she didn't look at him. But Bear needed more than we could give him here. He needed to be someone's whole world, and the Petersons, they needed him too. Hope finally looked at him. You promised. You promised to save them. I did save them, all of them, but saving doesn't always mean keeping. He stroked her head gently. Sometimes saving means letting go so they can be everything they're meant to be. Hope stared at him, and Axel wondered if she'd ever forgive him. On day 4, James Peterson called. Can we video chat? I think Hope needs to see something. Axel set up his phone, called them, the screen connected, and there was Bear, in the Petersons' living room, playing with a rope toy, happy, healthy, thriving. James turned the camera. Bear, look, it's Axel! Bear's head popped up, ears forward. He ran to the phone, sniffed the screen, whined, recognition, and look who else. Axel turned the phone toward Hope. Hope's entire body tensed. She stared at the screen. Bear? Bear went crazy, barking, pawing at the phone. Tail wagging. Mom! Mom, I'm okay, I'm good, Hope whined, touched her nose to the screen. You're alive, you're safe. They stayed on the call for 10 minutes. Bear showing off his new home, his new toys. And slowly, so slowly, Hope relaxed. Her son was okay. He was loved. He was where he needed to be. When the call ended, Hope looked at Axel, and something in her eyes had changed. Not forgiveness yet, but understanding. You kept your promise, just differently than I expected. 2 weeks later, a young woman named Riley came to meet the Puppies. She was 24, Marine Corps veteran, medically retired after an IED took her left arm. She'd been struggling, PTSD, depression, isolation. Dr. Reeves had told her about the Puppies. I don't know if I'm ready, Riley said quietly. I can barely take care of myself. Axel brought out Luna. The female puppy, now 12 weeks old, walked over to Riley, sniffed her prosthetic arm curiously, then climbed into her lap, settled, looked up at her face. You're sad. I can help. Riley's face crumpled. She's perfect. She's independent, Axel said, but she's also intuitive. She knows when someone needs her. Riley stroked Luna's head with her remaining hand. I lost my arm, lost my career, lost who I was. Luna's mother lost a leg too, Axel said. She had to rebuild who she was, find a new way to be strong. Riley looked at Hope, standing across the room on 3 legs, watching. She made it? More than that, she thrived. Riley looked down at Luna. Can you teach me how? Luna licked her face. Yes. Luna left 3 weeks later. This time, Hope handled it better. She watched the goodbye, sniffed Riley thoroughly, checked Luna over one last time, then let her go, because she understood now. This was different than abandonment. This was purpose. Her babies were going where they were needed most. That left Courage, the smallest, the one who'd almost died. Axel got calls, families interested, but none of them felt right. One was too busy. One had small kids who might be too rough. One didn't understand the significance of where Courage came from. Weeks passed. Courage stayed, growing, training with Ash, Frost, Rounds, Rex, and Hope. At 4 months old, he was still the smallest, but he was smart, observant, thoughtful. One afternoon, a teenage boy came to the cabin. His name was David, 17. Veteran son. His dad had died by suicide 2 years ago. Maria had sent him. Thought Axel's program might help. David was broken, barely speaking, barely present. Axel didn't push, just let him sit, exist. The dogs did their thing. Ash approached. Rex lay nearby. Frost offered comfort. But Courage walked right up to David, sat in front of him, and waited. David didn't react. Courage waited longer. Finally, David looked down, met Courage's eyes, and something happened. Recognition. You're broken too, just like me. David's hand slowly reached out, touched Courage's head, and started crying. Not loud, just tears, falling. Courage climbed into his lap, small enough to fit, pressed against his chest. You're not alone. David wrapped his arms around the puppy and held on, for the first time in 2 years. He held on to something. David came back every week, and every week Courage was there. After 3 months, David's mother called Axel. I don't know what's happening, but my son is talking again, smiling. He talks about that dog constantly. Courage has that effect. Can I ask you something? Is there any chance, could David adopt him? Axel looked at Courage, the runt who'd fought so hard to live, who'd found his purpose with a broken kid who needed someone who understood survival. Yeah, Axel said. I think that's exactly why Courage is still here. When David came to pick up Courage, Hope was there. She walked to her last puppy, sniffed him over, licked his face. You're strong, you're brave, you're everything I fought for. Courage looked at his mother. Thank you for not giving up on me. Then he turned to David, ready for his mission. Hope watched them leave, and this time, she didn't howl. She sat beside Axel, leaned against his leg. They're all safe, all loved, all where they're meant to be. You did it, Mama, Axel whispered. You saved them, and then you let them go. Hope's tail wagged once. We did it, because some love is fierce enough to push them toward strangers, and some trust is strong enough to believe they'll be caught. 6 months after the last puppy left, Axel received 3 packages in one day. The first was from James and Carol Peterson. Inside, a photo of Bear, now 9 months old, massive, muscular, gorgeous. He was wearing a service dog vest. The note read, Axel, Bear passed his therapy dog certification last week. He's working with us at the VA now, helping other veterans. He has his mother's heart, fearless, loyal. He knows when someone's struggling before they do. Last week, he sat with a Vietnam vet for 3 hours. The man hadn't spoken in months. Bear didn't leave his side. By the end, the vet was talking, crying, healing. You were right. Bear was meant for this. Thank you for trusting us with him. He asks about his family every time we video call. We'll visit soon. James and Carol. The second package was from Riley. A photo of Luna, lean, athletic, alert. She wore a vest too, psychiatric service dog. The letter said, Axel, Luna saved my life. I'm not being dramatic. 3 months ago, I was planning to end it. I had the pills, had the note written. Luna knew she wouldn't leave me alone. Kept pawing at me, whining, blocking the bathroom door. Finally, I broke down, called the crisis line, got help. My therapist says Luna has an uncanny ability to sense my episodes before I do. When my heart rate spikes, she's there. When I dissociate, she grounds me. She learned that from her mother. How to survive when everything falls apart. How to trust when trust seems impossible. I'm going back to school. Physical therapy program. I want to help other veterans rebuild their lives, because Luna showed me that losing a part of yourself doesn't mean losing all of yourself. Thank you for seeing that I needed her, and thank you for trusting me with Hope's daughter. Riley. The third package was from David's mother, a photo of Courage, still the smallest, but confident, bright-eyed. He wore a vest, emotional support animal. The letter made Axel's eyes burn. Mr. Martinez, I'm David's mom. I wanted you to know what your dog has done for my son. 2 years ago, my husband took his own life. David found him. He was 15. He stopped talking, stopped eating, stopped living. Therapy didn't work. Medication didn't work. Nothing worked. Then he met Courage. That dog saw something in my son that we couldn't see anymore. Hope. David talks to Courage, tells him things he can't tell us, and Courage listens, never judges, never leaves. Last month, David spoke at his school about suicide prevention, about healing, about how a three-legged dog's runt puppy taught him that survival is worth fighting for. He's applying to colleges now, wants to study psychology, help other kids like him. Courage sleeps in his bed every night. When David has nightmares, Courage is there. When he has bad days, Courage doesn't let him stay in the darkness. You told David that Courage almost died as a puppy, that you had to fight for him every 2 hours. David said, "Then I have to fight too, because Courage didn't give up, and neither can I. Thank you for saving that puppy, and thank you for trusting my son with him. You gave me my child back." Jennifer Axel read all 3 letters twice, then walked outside to where Hope was lying in the sun. Ash, Frost, and Rex nearby, the pack. He sat beside her, showed her the photos. "Look, Mama, your babies." Hope sniffed the photos. Her tail wagged slightly. Recognition, my children. They're saving people, just like you saved them. Axel's voice was thick. Bear's helping veterans heal. Luna's keeping someone alive. Courage is giving a kid a reason to fight. He looked at Hope, 3-legged, scarred, beautiful. You did that. When you were dying on that road, you made a choice, and that choice created a ripple that's still spreading. Hope leaned against him. I just wanted them to live. They're doing more than living, Mama. They're giving others reasons to live. Word spread about Hope's story. Local news picked it up, then regional, then national. 3-legged dogs' puppies become heroes. Mother's trust saves 5 lives, from roadside tragedy to service dog legacy. Axel's phone exploded. Families asking about adopting rescue dogs. Veterans asking about therapy dog programs. Shelters asking for help with unadoptable dogs. The injured, the traumatized, the ones nobody wanted. It was overwhelming. But also, it was the point. One afternoon, Dr. Reeves came to the cabin with a proposal. We need to expand, officially. What do you mean? You've got something here, Axel, a model that works. Veterans helping dogs, dogs helping veterans, and stories like Hope's proving that broken doesn't mean worthless. She pulled out papers. I talked to Sarah Brennan. She wants to expand the Brennan Legacy Fund, add a new program, Hope's Trust. Hope's Trust? A program specifically for injured or traumatized dogs. We find them, rehabilitate them, train them, and place them with people who need them. That's a lot. It is. But you're already doing it. We just make it official, give it structure, funding, support. Axel looked at Hope. She was playing with Frost, running on 3 legs, happy, whole. She'd want this, wouldn't she? Dr. Reeves said. For other dogs like her to get the same chance. Yeah, she would. 6 months later, Hope's Trust officially launched. The first dog they rescued was a German shepherd named Ghost, hit by a car, broken pelvis, left at a kill shelter because the owner didn't want to pay for surgery. Axel brought him to the cabin. Hope was the first to approach. She limped over to Ghost, terrified, in pain, giving up, sniffed him, lay down beside him. I know what you're going through, but you're safe now. Ghost looked at her missing leg, at her scars. You made it? Hope's tail wagged. We both will. Over the next 3 months, Hope became the unofficial therapy dog for incoming rescues. Every traumatized dog that arrived, Hope was there, showing them it was possible to survive, to heal, to trust again. She became a legend. The 3-legged mama, the dog who'd trusted a stranger and started a movement. 1 year after the accident, Axel held a ceremony at the cabin. He'd invited everyone connected to Hope's story. James and Carol brought Bear, now fully certified, working full-time at the VA. Riley brought Luna, confident, beautiful, saving Riley's life every day. David brought Courage, small but mighty, keeping a teenager alive. All 3 puppies, now young adults, reunited with their mother. The moment Hope saw them, she went crazy, running as fast as 3 legs could to each one, sniffing them over, licking their faces, crying. My babies. You're all okay. Bear, the biggest, nearly knocked her over with enthusiasm. Luna, elegant and calm, pressed against her side. Courage, still the smallest, curled up under her chin like he used to as a puppy. And Hope. She looked at Axel with an expression that said everything. Thank you. For keeping your promise. For saving them. For letting them go. For proving my trust wasn't misplaced. No, Mama, Axel whispered. Thank you. For trusting me in the first place. At the ceremony, Axel spoke to the gathered crowd. Veterans, families, volunteers, media. A year ago, I found a dying dog on the side of a road. She had every reason to be afraid, to protect her puppies from a stranger, to die fighting. He gestured to Hope. Instead, she did the bravest thing I've ever witnessed. She pushed her babies toward me and trusted that I'd save them. His voice broke. That moment changed my life, because it taught me that trust, real trust, is the most powerful force in the world. He looked around. Hope's puppies are now saving lives. Bear helps veterans at the VA. Luna keeps Riley alive. Courage gives David a reason to fight. But more than that, Hope's story inspired Hope's Trust, a program that's now rescued 57 dogs, placed 32 with veterans and families who needed them, and counting. He knelt beside Hope. This dog, with 3 legs and a scarred body, proved that broken doesn't mean finished, that trauma doesn't define you, that trust is worth the risk. The crowd was silent. So if you're watching this, if you're struggling, if you feel broken beyond repair, Axel looked directly at the camera recording the event. Remember Hope. Remember that she chose to trust when trust seemed impossible, and that choice saved not just her puppies, but dozens of people who found hope through them. He stood. We all have moments where we have to decide. Do we trust? Do we take the risk? Do we believe someone will catch us? Hope said yes, and her yes changed the world. 6 months later, Axel was in the yard with the pack when a truck pulled up. A family stepped out. Mother, father, 2 kids. The father was missing his right leg. Prosthetic, visible. Are you Axel Martinez? Yeah. I'm Marcus Webb, Marine Corps. IED took my leg in 2022. I heard about your program, about Hope. He gestured to his family. We were broken, all of us. I came back angry, depressed. My wife didn't know how to help. My kids were scared of me. His voice caught. But then we saw Hope's story, about how she lost a leg and kept going, how she trusted when she had every reason not to, how her puppies went on to save people. We were wondering, do you have any dogs available? Someone like Hope, someone who understands. Axel smiled. Actually, yeah. Come with me. He led them inside, where Ghost, the German shepherd they'd rescued months ago, was waiting, fully healed, 3 legs, scars, but alive and ready. The moment the kids saw him, their faces lit up. He's like Hope. He only has 3 legs. Ghost walked over to Marcus, sat in front of him, looked up at the veteran with knowing eyes. I've been where you are. I made it back. So can you. Marcus knelt down, awkward on his prosthetic, and touched Ghost's head, and started crying. Thank you, thank you. Hope walked over, stood beside Ghost, 2 3-legged warriors, survivors, proof. And Axel understood. This was the legacy, not just saving dogs, but showing the world that broken can become beautiful, that trust can start movements, that one choice to push your babies toward a stranger can echo through time and save countless lives. That night, as the sun set over Montana, Axel sat on his porch, Hope at his feet. Ash, Frost, and Rex nearby. Somewhere out there, Bear was helping a veteran sleep without nightmares. Luna was keeping Riley alive through another hard day. Courage was giving David the strength to keep fighting, and Ghost was starting his own journey with a Marine family who needed hope. All because one mother dog trusted a stranger. Axel pulled out his phone, opened his video app, recorded a message. If you're watching this, I want you to know something. You might be broken. You might have scars. You might feel like you're not enough. But Hope was broken. She had 3 legs. She'd lost everything. And she changed the world. Not by being perfect, by trusting, by pushing forward even when it hurt, by believing that someone would catch what she loved. So whatever you're facing, trust. Push forward. believe. Because broken doesn't mean finished. It just means you're ready to become something new. He posted the video. Within hours, it had 1 million views. Within days, 10 million. Comments flooded in. I was about to give up. This saved me. I'm adopting a 3-legged dog tomorrow. Thank you for showing me broken is beautiful. I'm a veteran. I needed this story. And Axel understood. Hope's trust hadn't just saved 3 puppies. It had saved him, and now it was saving thousands more. Because some choices echo forever. Some trust changes everything, and some broken mothers teach the whole world what love really means. If this story moved you, we need you to do something, like this video. If you believe broken doesn't mean finished. Comment below. Tell us about a time someone trusted you, or you chose to trust when it was terrifying. Your story matters. Subscribe to Canine Valor Stories, because Hope's legacy continues, and you don't want to miss what happens next. Share this with someone who needs to hear that they're not too broken to heal. Adopt, don't shop. Thousands of dogs like Hope are in shelters right now. 3-legged, scarred, waiting for someone to see their worth. Be that someone. Support. Hope's trust in programs like it. Links in description. Every dollar helps another broken dog find their purpose.